Hello everybody, welcome back. I am the Thechornick, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the Elder Scrolls 6 Theory Series. This episode today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over factions. Now, this is kind of a part 2 to my followers video that I did last week. And so we're going to mainly talk about followers and their involvement in our factions and everything, and how factions in general could be improved in the next game. You guys could post in the comments below your ideas about how the mechanics of factions or anything about factions in general could be improved in the next game. But I'm mainly going to talk about how your followers are influenced by the factions that you're part of and what you're against in the next game. Now, my main concern, that I've noticed I'm going to go and mainly go back to, Skyrim, for example. I'm going to try to keep away from ESO, because that's kind of made by ZeniMax and not Bethesda, so I'm going to try to keep to the actual main series games and, come off of them, mostly in these videos, as always. But in Skyrim, they had, all these factions. Bethesda just, puts in a whole bunch of factions into these Elder Scrolls games. There's so many to be part of, Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, you got your, the army, which you're a part of, Stormcloaks and Imperials, for example, from Skyrim. You got all these different, factions that you could be a part of, and even your own faction that you create, the player character faction. Now, in terms of followers, being, kind of following your faction, they're part of your faction. But the thing I have a problem about this is, they don't really have a say in what you do and everything. They just kind of follow you and attack whoever, and maybe they don't want to attack that person, And if, say you march into a city and murder everyone in the streets, I feel like the followers should just, have a choice of not defending you. I mean, yeah, it's gonna make it's gonna make your job harder, your murdering spree harder, but, I feel like the follower should be kind of against certain things you do, unless they're exclusively in service to you, like a housecarl or something like that. That, certain followers of you should not be helping you in everything you do, but that could also make, the times which you have them with you, it could make it, not convenient that you have this certain follower with you when, they're against the certain people that you're attacking at that time, if that makes sense. But I also believe that they should have dialogue revolving around, what you're doing, where you are, such as, say, if you're in a restricted area, that, your follower would say, hey, watch out, or we shouldn't be here, da-da-da. They did that in Skyrim, which, your follower, if they weren't, an evil faction, they would tell you, hey, you shouldn't be in here, you shouldn't be, in this house because it's not your house, whatever. That's basically all they said. That's pretty much the only dialogue that popped up, but I think they should expand on that a little bit more. But, say, if say you're robbing a house or whatnot, and maybe that house is part of a faction that's against you and against your follower, then your follower should obviously just, kind of put it aside and be like, oh yeah, let's go rob this house or whatever. But yeah, so your follower should either stand outside, if they don't want to rob the house with you because they don't want to be affiliated with you, during this heist or whatever, then I think that should be thing. This is just more creativeness. I know you guys don't mind the fact that these followers do whatever you say and do, but if they wanted to be a little bit more immersive and realistic with it, then they would probably have these followers go against certain things you do or say, unless they were part of that faction or whatever, or unless they were strict service to you. Now the thing is, if say you have your own faction, right? Your own player character faction, your followers are exclusive to you and helping you. Now, say maybe you're part of different factions that are against other factions. So say maybe in the next game, if it's the Empire versus the Thalmor or the Aldmeri Dominion, and say you're part of the Empire, but you're against, you're obviously against the Aldmeri Dominion, then your followers would respond to that and also hate the Thalmor. And so say if a Thalmor was walking by and your follower might whisper to you being they might whisper to you something negative about the person that just walked by, or they say something about it, or say if you just finished off killing some Thalmor or something like that, then your follower would be like, would respond to that and be happy that you just killed that person, or you know what I'm saying? So like they should be part of your faction, and they should be against whatever faction you're against. And like, so say if you told your follower to go home or something like that, and say they came across, you know, an enemy faction that's against your faction or against a faction that you're part of, then your follower would attack them, you know. Probably because the enemy would attack your follower first, but you know, but I think that would be just a lot more immersive and more realistic if they kept it like that, and your followers would have dialogue based off of what faction you're a part of and what factions are nearby. Like such, maybe you're in a city, and so you're in a city that's occupied by an enemy faction, and maybe they just don't attack you, you know, head on. Like for example, like you're part of the Empire, and if maybe you go to Windhelm, you know, they won't just attack you, you know. Sure, they might be suspicious of you, but like just don't do anything rash or anything. But like maybe guards would be a little suspicious of you, and maybe like keep an eye on you. Maybe they'd like not complete their full path that they go on, and maybe they would like slow their path down, or just like lean against a wall or something and just watch you or something. Yeah, that would kind of make your job a little harder if you were like walking around trying to steal stuff. But just stuff like that. Like they realize you're not good. You know, you're some bad deal going on. So something like that, like just the dialogue and little things like that, I really hope for in the next game in terms of factions and how they can improve it. Obviously, you guys could post in the comment section below how you think it could help, what mechanics could work, and how factions should work in the next game as general. Your guys' comments are really helpful. You guys add on, and you know, with all of our ideas combined together, we are able to come to this core conclusion of the perfect, you know, game and everything. I really like making these videos and able to do that, and how we can improve the next game, and how we could, you know, improve these little things, and we could all work our ideas down. You know, it's gonna be all work discussing all the way down to what the ideal can be for the next game, and all these different little topics. But anyway, that's mainly my concern. Also, some other point that was brought up in the last video about followers, and how that there should be more than one follower, and that we should be able to make like a squad or something. Perhaps we could do that, but that would probably be like in a quest that's more difficult, in which you have more followers with you, or you know, for example, like if you had a follower with you, but someone else wanted you to kill this bandit clan, but wanted to go with you or something. Like, I guess that's kind of how it worked in the last game. I mean, obviously with the blades, you had like a whole group of blades go along with you to kill a dragon in the last game, if you chose to side with the blades and not the Greymoors. Greymoors? Greybeards. But anyway, like, so just stuff like that. But like, if it was a bigger quest in which there's a lot more enemies and it was a lot broader area, then yes, I agree with the more followers idea. But you know, it could get over encumbered if you're like in a small dungeon within walls and everything. But anyway, so that's just an idea as well. But anyway, yes, for specific factions, I believe for like the ones that are exclusively you, like House Carls or Servants, that they should be fighting for you and only for you, and be against any faction that you're against, or whatever your faction is against. But like in terms of other followers that might be friends of certain factions or whatever, they might be a little bit iffy here and there when you're attacking, you know, their people or whatnot. Or they won't attack you, but they might just stand by or stand away from the fight. You know, they just might involve themselves, or maybe they make a comment after the fight if you kill their people or something. They might like be a little negative against you. But you know, like in terms of emotions and everything, they kind of I feel like they kind of kept that dull in the last game, honestly, on Skyrim. They like in terms of like facial expressions and like the people around you, how they felt about you. I think they kind of slacked from Oblivion. They kind of like drained that. I didn't really mind it that much, but like some people really want the emotions and really want like the how people feel about you back in the next game. So if you guys really want that, you could, I mean, that's just something to keep an idea about. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. I highly appreciate it. I can't wait to get my computer back, because then we don't have to look at nature. Oh my gosh, my iPad almost fell. So then we don't have to look at nature. Unless you want to look at nature, then that's cool. That's A-okay. We'll look at more nature, maybe. But these iPad videos take a long time to upload and edit. And even though I can't really edit at all, I can only, like, trim, that's about it. Unless I could find, like, some software program for the iPad that I could edit it with. Because once I get my computer back, I can't wait. I'll be doing all these videos. I'll be doing more expansive stuff. I might do some Skyrim gameplay or something like that if you guys want. But yeah, I would be finishing off the rest of the season 2 for Elder Scrolls 6 Theories. And once I do that, I'll be moving on to other stuff. Or from time to time, I'd make maybe another theory here and there. But I'll be moving on to other Elder Scrolls related topics. But anyway, thanks guys for watching the video. Remember, put in the comment section below your ideas about factions, how you think that they could be improved, all that goodness, all that goodness. Anyway, 2,000 subscriber special. I'm gonna be releasing that next week sometime. I'm probably gonna do a Q&A, even though I said I was never gonna do one again because those things just take a while to do and they're kind of headaches. But I really love answering questions and stuff that you guys might have for me that maybe I didn't answer in a certain video or not. So it is helpful to do a Q&A from time to time. And I guess I could do them, after a certain amount of period of time. And so, I'll probably be doing a Q&A for my 2,000 subscriber special, which will probably be the first video I will release once I get my computer back. But anywho, guys, thanks for watching this. I'll hopefully get my computer back by next week. Anyway, guys, I can't wait for that to happen. Oh my god. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. I highly appreciate you all, and peace off. Thank you very much.